I'm joined now by entertainment journalist and friend of Top Story, Andrew Freund. Andrew, so great to see you again.
Thank you, Tom.
Back in from L.A.?
Back in from L.A. You know, there's no place I'd rather be on a Friday night than here with you.
I love that, Andrew. That's why you'll keep being on Bingeworthy.
Yeah, you know, I really like it. I guess we're just obsessed with the post-apocalypse, Tom.
I love it.
We want to know.
Yeah.
But this is an interesting twist because basically what happens is, you know, there's a nuclear war and people have to go inside these shelters.
Okay.
However, they're in these shelters for like 200 years. This girl's dad goes missing, so she has to go up to the surface and see what Earth is like 200 years, you know, being raised in this fallout shelter the whole time. And guess what? Earth does not look the same. Post-apocalyptic LA does not look the same as it once did.
You were watching this before you came. Is it something you definitely want to binge? It's on Prime Video?
Yeah. Okay. I would definitely binge it because it's like The Last of Us. I don't know if you saw The Last of Us, but you just can't stop watching it. And she encounters so many interesting characters on the surface that it's very compelling.
Maybe even more sci-fi than The Last of Us. It feels like a little bit.
A little bit. They're, you know,
Westworld vibes too. Okay.
Westworld because it's the same producers.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Exactly.
I know I had a little bit of talent. All right, Andrew, thanks for that. Next up, we got another television adaptation. This time it's The Sympathizer.
So it's a Vietnam-era war kind of spy thriller series. Robert Downey Jr. is also the producer. He and his wife produced it, obviously based off the book. But we get to see Robert Downey Jr. in multiple characters, multiple disguises. And we basically follow this spy who goes to Los Angeles, but it's interesting because in the book, the time jumps very, you know, sporadically.
Okay.
And we get to see this guy give confessions of his life, but we jump from the beginning of his life to the end of his life to the middle of his life. So it's all kind of encompassing. It's very complex, Tom. So you just kind of have to watch it and study it.
It's out on Max. First episode drops this Sunday. Next up, our first movie suggestion tonight, and we're going to stick with the spy game genre. We've got the action comedy Argyle, but Sometimes these films can be a letdown. Is it a letdown or is it enjoyable?
It's fine. I would say watch it on an airplane.
Okay.
You know, I know that's
when you can't escape and go anywhere. I get that.
It's funny because I downloaded it to watch it on my flight back to LA.
All right.
But like you said, it's star-studded. It's a spy action comedy, and basically Bryce Dallas Howard plays an author, and she writes these spy thrillers. But she's starting to write these spy thrillers, and they're starting to come to life.
Okay.
So
I like that. I mean, that sounds like a great.
True,
plot.
and Henry Cavill's also in it.
Great cast.
Star-studded, Tom.
Apple TV. You can watch it. Next up, this got a lot of buzz with the Top Story staff. We were talking about this one. It's a peek behind the curtain into the world of fast fashion. This one's an HBO original documentary called Brandy Hellville and the Cult of Fast Fashion. It takes a look at the brand Brandy Melville, which makes one-size-fits-all clothing. And in the documentary, the company faces accusations of racism and misogyny. Here's a clip.
Brandy Melville was part of fast fashion and how fast fashion was impacting our environment.
Everywhere you walk, this fabric is going to shock you. What you see entering our workplace, I need to be worried.
We're all being exploited by the same system.
Fast fashion brands convince you to buy so much because they convince you that you are not enough.
Brandy Melville taps into the worst impulses of being a teenage girl.
Finally, someone's talking about it.
This is the first time I've seen this trailer. I got to tell you, I'm hooked. It looks like it's going to be pretty interesting. Explain to our viewers first, though, what is fast fashion?
So fast fashion is basically cheaper clothing that people basically discard. But you're like,
they wear it a couple times, they throw it away.
Right, like stuff from H&M, stuff like Brandy Melville, and you're like, where does that stuff go? Guess what? It goes to places that people like you and I never see, but it can pollute the oceans, it can pollute landfills. It's really, really bad. And what I was fascinated by this is I have two young nieces who are obsessed with Brandy Melville.
As are some staffers at Top Story.
And I had no idea the backstory about this company, the misogyny, the racism.
Is it fair? Are those accusations fair?
I mean, the documentary makes it pretty compelling. The CEO is not a good guy. I'll just go out and say it. I mean, he's not a good dude. I would not support this company, especially after watching this film.
Okay, it's on Max. It sounds like it's a winner. We may be watching it in our house.
Yes.
Next up, the last movie on the docket tonight. It's The Greatest Hits, a romantic fantasy film on Hulu about a woman who discovers certain songs can actually transport her back in time. Literally. Here's a look at that.
2 years ago, my boyfriend Max passed away. I can't seem to pull myself back together. Ever since the accident, Certain songs literally pull me back into the past.
What do you want to do today?
All of it.
Okay, I'm a little lost. I like the idea, but I'm a little lost. Explain.
Okay, so Lucy Boynton, the female lead, plays a character. She's dating David Cornsweet, who, incidentally, is the new Superman.
Okay.
So he's going to be the new Superman. He passes away. She finds out that if she listens to certain songs, she can go back in time. So she keeps going back in time to revisit her past love.
Yeah.
However, in present time, she meets another guy, and she develops a relationship. So it begs the question, do you go back and change time, Tom? Can you change time? Would you want to change time? What are your thoughts on that, Tom?
I'm still lost, but it's okay. I'm sure a lot of people are gonna like that one. That one's on Hulu. Next up is music, and it's a former One Direction member. See if you can recognize him, who's out with a new song and actually performing in a long time. Let's take a look. That is a new single, Alienated by Zayn. So this is kind of a big deal because people haven't heard from him in a while, right?
Yeah, it's a big deal. He's been working on this album for 6 years. You know, the guy started when he was 17 years old for One Direction.
Huge.
He's now 31. So in this new record that comes out in May, the single's out now, but it's more introspective. He's bearing his soul, Tom. He's more soulful. The lyrics are poetic. That kind of vibe.
All right, we'll definitely give it a spin.
Yeah.
Next up, a young woman who we hear about a lot in our household, Sabrina Carpenter. She's got a new song. Some people, that it's going to be the song of summer. Here's a list. Take a listen.
Now he's thinking about me every night. Oh, isn't that sweet? I get so you can't sleep, baby. I know what's that mean? Espresso, move it up, down, left, right. Oh, switch it up like Nintendo.
And Sabrina's performing at Coachella this weekend. Well, I didn't know Coachella was her.
This weekend. I'm not at Coachella, Tom. I'm here.
This is her 6th album. Talk to me about the song.
Yeah, so the song is a beach vibe. Clearly, she is making a play for the song of the summer. Super catchy. You're going to hear it everywhere. She released it today, of course, because she's going to perform it this weekend. So a lot of times these artists, before they have big performances like at Coachella, they release the song before, so you're going to kind of know it if you go and hear the song. Obviously, she was on tour with Taylor Swift. She's riding high, Tom. You know, she can do no wrong right now.
Okay, it's good. It's catchy.
I kept singing it when I was listening to prep today.
Okay.
So
there you go. Andrew, so great to have you.
Thank you.
Safe travels back home, but thanks for being here. And we thank you for watching Top Story tonight. I'm Tom Llamas in New York. Stay right there. More news on the way.